Hi people, how are you all doing? Welcome to another video of ElMetaleroReviews, aka the Metalhead Reviews. So I did a review of Mama in Spanish 2 days ago. I uploaded it yesterday, and I hadn't had time to record the English version, but I'm doing it now. Watching the Spanish version, which I did at night, I realized there wasn't enough light. So I put a fucking lamp there. I don't know if you can see it in the mirror. Yeah, because it will get dark soon. Well, why I'm not in my usual metalhead clothes in this video? Why don't I have my leather jacket in this video? Well, it is because today at school they asked us to go on suited up for a presentation, and I just fucking love wearing a suit. I feel legend. Wait for it. Dairy! Awesome. So, I will wear my suit on this video because I look so damn sexy with it. I'm like James Bond, so I feel like I'm gonna go there with some chick with my martini and they're like, hey, how you doing? But let's not waste too much time. Sorry if I sometimes go like, say the wrong word. You know, English is not my mother language, but let's get on with this. So I hadn't uploaded a video in a while because there hasn't been anything good in theaters. I know in the US, Les Miserables premiered in theaters since Christmas Day. Well, here is not in theaters yet. It will be in theaters in Valentine's Day, and there hadn't been anything good in theaters. In December I watched The Hobbit 5 fucking times. But now we had a whole bunch of shit. We had Mama, El Vuelo, I don't recall it in English, I guess it's called The Flight, I don't know, with Denzel Washington when he's a pilot. We have Django, well, that has been in the theaters for a while. We have Hitchcock, I hadn't gonna see it, I gotta see it tomorrow. Here in theaters in Cinépolis in Mexico, I don't know if in the US too, they relaunched The Godfather for a week. I will fucking see that tomorrow too. Tomorrow is gonna be a whole lot of movies for me. And in a week, in 4 days, we got Les Miserables. Finally, I've been dying to see the shit. So, I will give the theaters a whole lot of money in the next few days. And what are we gonna talk about right now? Well, you already knew it. It's in the title of the video, motherfucker. So, let's start with this, shall we? So, Mama by Guillermo del Toro. I really like this movie. I'm a fan of horror movies. It's my favorite kind of movies, I guess. I love them. And I really like Del Toro's style. I mean, the Pawn's Labyrinth, The Orphanage, that was really good shit. I loved it. When I saw the Pawn's Labyrinth, I was 11 years old, 10 years old, I don't recall, 11 years old, and I loved it. And before starting, I have a doubt. If you guys know the answer, please tell me here in the comments. How does Del Toro decide when to make a movie in Spanish, like he did in Pawn's Labyrinth and The Orphanage, and when to do it in English, like with Mama? Does it depend of him? Does he just decide when to do it, or does it depend of the other people he works with? If you know that, please tell me. Right? Okay. So Mama, we got this guy, this really frustrated guy in the first scene. This really frustrated guy who takes his daughters, 2 little girls, one named Victoria, the other one I don't remember her fucking name. They're little girls. Victoria is like a year and a half older than the other. They're like the same age. He takes him, gets into a car, and he's driving. And it's snowing like hell. I mean, does it snow in hell? I don't know. Satan, if you're watching this video, please tell me. Oh, no. Please don't tell me, actually. Stay the fuck away from me, right? Well, so he's driving like shit, and the road is covered with ice, like completely covered with ice. And this guy crying, he's like, and his girl's like, Dad, are you going too fast? And I'm like, jeez, is he going to have an accident? I don't know, this is so unpredictable. I could never believe it if this guy had an accident. And yeah, he has an accident, duh. And the car goes like in the side of the road in the woods, and he takes his two girls and goes in the ugliest motherfucking cabin in the woods, and goes there, and he's with his daughter, and he's like, you know, we love you very much, and mommies and daddies try really hard, but sometimes they fuck up, you know, and he's going to kill her to protect her. And then this spectrum, this apparition appears, and fuck takes this motherfucker and kills him bad. And well, the spirit, I don't give it any spoiler, we all know it's the mom. I mean, the fucking movie's called Mama. Well, the spirit of Mama kills the motherfucker, and the two girls are like hugging. The older girl is taking care of the little girl, and this apple, I think is an apple, or no, it's not an apple, it's not a fucking apple. This fruit, I don't know what kind of fruit, rolls. So the mother is taking care of them, the spirit of the mom is giving them food, is keeping them alive. And well, we have this guy who turns out to be the uncle of the little girls. He was her dad's brother, showing up in his brother's house, and he's like, in the police is like, well, he's dead. He's like, ugh. And then we got 5 years later, and I love this movie, but I really despised this first scene. I hated this first scene. The thing with the car accident was so predictable, and the acting of the little girl, especially Victoria, which is the one that talks, is really a contrast to me. Because in all the rest of the movie, I fucking love her. In all the rest of the movie, I love the acting by the two little girls. It's one of the best acting I've seen by children in my life. They're so unbelievably good. It could not be better. But in this first scene, Victoria is so annoying. She pisses me off every time she talks, because she's a typical fucking little girl that is always in movies. There's always a girl or a boy in movies. There is this kind of kid, and I always hate this kind of kid, like, because they never exist in real life. You know, the kid that's like, oh, I'm so cute, I'm just saying cute things, I'm very innocent, if you tell me something I will believe it, I'm a good kid, I'm well behaved, but you know, I'm not stupid, I suspect things, I know things, I suspect, yeah. But if you tell me nothing's happening, well, I'm gonna believe it because, well, I'm a good little girl, yeah. And he just goes like, Daddy, what is going on? Daddy, you're going too fast. I love it. Fuck you, little girl. Those kids never exist in real life. If you just had a fucking car accident and you're watching a motherfucking ghost murdering your dad, you will be crying. Shit, if you were 17 years old and that happened to you, you will be crying. I will be crying if that happened to me and I'm fucking 17 years old. Now, if you're a small 5, 6, 7-year-old little girl, you will be crying. Those kinds of kids never exist in real life, and they piss me off every time they're in movies. So I just wanted to hit that fucking girl every time she talked. I don't know, I feel that scene was unnecessary. I mean, it created atmosphere. I'll give it to it. In the moment where the father gets killed and the girls are like embracing, the food rolls over. Yeah, that part helps create atmosphere. I get it. But the rest of the scene is so annoying, at least for me. Remember, this is all my opinion. And this is all my blog. This is all my blog, my video. So, yeah, this is gonna be about my opinion. But well, if you have a different opinion, perfect. Tell it to me in the comments. Okay? And I feel like that scene could just didn't need to be shown. I mean, we could have. It happens, and then we get 5 years later. We could have had the main characters just doing their shit and show them talking like, yeah, you know what? happens 5 years ago when your brother, yeah, I remember the accident and shit. We could have had that. We could. We didn't need to actually show the fucking scene. But well, it isn't a bad scene. I mean, it isn't one of those scenes like in Twilight 4 when the guys are fucking in the island and the feathers are flying with this, when you're like, God, that scene. It's not like that. Many people, I think, will like it, but it just pissed me off because of how Victoria acted in that scene. But well, let's get on. We have this because I take too long in my videos. I should do them quicker. This guy who is the brother of the girl's father, the one who's dead, her brother's alive. He's looking for them. He's searching for them, and he's in his bed with his girlfriend, who is a metalhead. Yeah. His girlfriend's a metalhead or a punk. I think she's more kind of punk. I don't know, rock and roll, and she plays the bass in a band, and well, she's a cool motherfucker. I really like this girl. I liked everybody in this movie except for the girl in the first scene and one person I'm gonna talk about later. But she's great. The guy, this guy, the uncle of the girls, is great too. And he and his girlfriend are in bed, and the phone rings, and these two really weird guys, friends of them, is like, dude, we found them. And yeah, they are in the cabin, and they find the girls, and they look amazing. They're like dehumanized. I mean, they lived 5 years as little girls, separated from the world, in isolation, with just the company of each other and a fucking ghost. So they can't remember how to talk. They're like animals. They walk in 4 legs, and it looks unbelievable. If I try to walk in 4 legs, I will be ridiculous. But this little girl does an unbelievable acting. It looks amazing, and they're like all dirty. They have really white skin, but they look. The makeup and the hair is unbelievably good in this scene. They're like. I'm like, oh, holy shit, man. But they take them, and they take them to a house. It's not a house because they're in a room that looks like a kid room, but outside of the room, everybody's studying them. It's a special place for it. And they try to interact with them, and the uncle gives Victoria, the older girl, some glasses because she used to wear glasses, but of course in that isolation she didn't wear them anymore. And he kind of connects with her. I mean, it's not like, oh, her connection. No, it's good. It's not cliche. It's good. She trusts him. And after a trial, it is decided that the two girls will stay with their uncle, even though the first choice for them to be with was an aunt of them, who is never told if she's a sister of their mom or their dad, but she's her aunt, and she's a fucking bitch. Everybody hates her. It's the kind of character that you should hate. If you don't hate her, something's wrong with you. But well, this guy goes with the uncle and say like, I have to give them to her. I mean, blah 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 blah. But we can make a deal. I want to study them. If I give them to you, you let me study them, motherfucker. And well, he does. He agrees, and the girls leave in the house. And starting from that point, the two main characters, I won't give up the scares because, well, it's a horror movie. If you give up the scares, what the hell do you get? What the hell is left? So I won't spoil them, motherfucker. But I will spoil just one to give an idea. And it's not right now. I will tell you when it is. But the two main characters, apart from the girls, I mean, the uncle and his girlfriend, go to a series of things with this ghost that appears. The mama, she's called. And she appears, and every time she sounds scream, the tension goes up. Your heartbeat goes like, the heartbeat goes like fucking intro of Painkiller by Judas Priest. Like imagine the double bass. That's how my heart was. like some kind of Dave Lombardo shit. Brrr, brrr. That's how my heart was. And it has been a while. It had been a while since last time I got scared in a horror movie. I mean, last horror movies I had seen in theaters were Insidious, The Devil Inside. Insidious was kind of good, but didn't scare me. The Devil Inside, Paranormal Activity 4, which I fucking hated it. As much as I love Paranormal 1 and 3, 2 and 4, I just hate it. I'm like, yeah, jump scare. Ooh, that's fun. Ooh, the door opened and it was just the wind. That's so scary. But no, this fucking thing actually had me doing, I swear, doing this in a moment, and I was like, what the hell am I doing? I gotta watch this, but that's how good it is, at least for me. When the spirit of the mom is shown, it's unbelievably scary, and it's not like there is an idea that hasn't been done before in this movie. It's not like this is something new. There are a lot of movies with ghosts that appear in a similar way, but fucking Del Toro knows his shit. Memo, how we call guys called Guillermo here in Mexico. I know you call them Willie, you know, William. Memo Del Toro, and Del Toro means of the bull. William of the Bull, William of the Bull, Memo Del Toro. Fucking knows his shit. He has a way of doing things that is unbelievably creative, and sometimes you don't even know why, but it's just creative, and it manages what he wants to do. And there's just one scare that I will spoil to give you an idea of the kind of scares that there are in the movie. You know, things like this: the girlfriend is in her room, and she listens to the girl sing, and they're like, little girl voice, and then we have another woman voice, but deep, grown woman voice, like, oh, no, that's a man voice, and I'm like, hell, and yeah, things like that, and she enters and they close the closet, and they're like, don't open the closet, don't open the closet, don't open the, oh, it's good. So, I can't give away the ending, but I have a problem with it, and it won't spoil anything. I really feel like I have 4 problems with this movie. 4 little problems, and I love everything else. I mean, the minutes that I didn't like of this movie, I didn't hate, except for the first scene. I didn't hate the other things that I didn't like. They just weren't as good. And there was little time. If I got the time of things I didn't like, it will be little. Because the parts I loved of the movie were huge. The girl's acting is unbelievable. All the other cast is really good. The girl is pretty. Not the little girl. That would be creepy. The uncle's girlfriend is pretty, even though her hair is very short and I don't like them. Oh man, she's sexy. But well. The casting is really good, the effects are really good, the direction is really good, the visuals are really good. Isn't visuals and effects the same thing? Yeah. The soundtrack! In a horror movie, one of the main elements you gotta make sure you do good is the soundtrack. You can't do a horror movie without a good soundtrack. And this movie has a very good soundtrack. It's well done. There's one scene when there is a really old-fashioned soundtrack, kind of like the original 1978 Halloween kind of soundtrack. Is very low. It isn't high when everybody hears it. No, it's real low. If you listen carefully, you hear. And it was so awesome. It is great. But so as you can imagine, I really love this movie. Well, you're not imagining it. I have just spent like 15 fucking minutes saying that. Now I have 4 problems with the movie. One is the first scene, which I already talked about. The second, you don't have much time of investigation. That was a low point. I mean, it would have been better to, because in a horror movie, it will always be scarier when you don't know anything about the assassin, the killer, the murderer, the ghost, the demon, the apparition. When you don't know anything about it, it will always be scary. When you just see this motherfucker going quick, like when you don't know their motives, he's just an ugly motherfucker who wants to kill you. And you begin to learn about the motives, and you begin to watch the spectrum for long periods of time, and you understand it and everything. I know it will be scary. I know it won't be that scary, but it's something you have to do. Because if you don't, the movie doesn't have an ending, doesn't have an explanation, and that's horrible. Well, you gotta make sure you do this great. Because this is your main character. I'm sorry, no, it's not the little girls as much as I love them. It's my favorite part of the movie. In Halloween, it's not Jamie Lee Curtis as much as she's beautiful. The killer will always be the main character in a horror movie. The demon, anything like that. So you gotta treat it right. You gotta get your time. You don't know anything about this, about it, he or her. You know a bit. And that makes you think, makes you speculate. And then you know another thing. And you realize you were wrong. And you can't spend your whole movie, you can spend half of your movie even investigating, because it's not a detective movie, it's a horror movie. But you have to have a lineal, I think it's called like that, like, you know, a progressive race of how much you know about this character. Here you don't. Here you're like, you don't know anything, you know everything. Yeah, suddenly, you don't know anything about this motherfucker, you have no real investigations. You investigate, but you have no real investigation results. And then, you know everything about the mama. That was kind of low. It will be better to take your time and shit. True problem. I know I bitch too much about stereotypes in movies, but yeah, that's something I really hate. And there's one lady, in this movie is not stereotypical or anything, no, it's good, but there's one lady who, I'm glad they didn't do it like the punk rocker metalhead stereotype when you're a motherfucking bitch or a crazy imbecile who doesn't care about anyone or anything, and you're doing drugs and shit. No. Yeah, the girl is kind of tough. She's not like, no. She's gonna talk to you rough. But she's not a bad person. She's not even a mean person. She's kind of a nice person with attitude. And she's really beautiful, and yeah, she's nice. She loves the girl. I'm glad they didn't stereotype the metalhead, the rocker, the punk. But there's one lady who works in the library, something like that, and this guy goes there for information about Mama. And she's like this old, like, she's older than Noah's testicles. That's how old she is. Older than Noah's fucking testicles. And she's like really weird with this shit and everything. She talks creepy. She's like, there's some things that shouldn't. I'm not a religious person, but there's things that I do believe in. They should be buried. And yeah. Why? In any country, especially in a country that, like USA, that really takes care of keeping a good staff and everything, you enter here, you see this bitch, and you're like, hey, you the fuck out, you're fired. Right now, take your things and go. Yeah. But now, this lady really works here, and she's so stereotypical. For a problem. I won't tell you anything about the ending. I will just tell you that I feel I've seen this ending before. This ending has already been in a movie before. I don't recall which movie. If you recall it, please, I beg, I'm on my knees. Please, if you recall it, tell me here in the comments. Because I've been dying to know where I've seen this ending, but I've not seen something that is kind of like the ending. No, the exact same ending, exactly the same thing of the ending. I saw it in another movie, and I would really like to know where. And that was low point because, well, Del Toro usually is very original. It has like this originality, brilliance, and shit and that. And here he kind of stole. And I know he wasn't the only director. I know he wasn't even the main director. He actually was a producer in this, not a director, I think. Director was another motherfucker whose name I don't remember. I know I swear too much. I swear too fucking much. Sorry, fucking sorry. It's really bad to say swear words. Really fucking motherfucking shit. It's wrong to say swear words. You better not fucking be saying swear words, because I'll kick your motherfucking ass. I don't like swear words. They're bad. You don't have to say swear words. Keep a fucking good language, boy. Well, yeah, that's what I thought of Mama. In a scale of 1 to 10, I'll give it an 8.5. If you're people who will like it, I can think of anybody who will really dislike it. I mean, there are people who will, but I can think of a specific demographic that will dislike it. People, if you're a horror fan, you really like horror movies, turn off the computer, please. Stop watching how sexy I look with my suited. I mean, I know I'm unbelievably irresistible suited up, but really, this is a movie worth seeing. Turn off your fucking computer. You can worship me later. Run to the movies or drive. I think it's faster. Well, if you're Hussein Bolt, probably it's faster running. Or swim if you live in Cuba. Well, let's go to the theaters right now and watch this movie because it's good. If you're a Del Toro fan, same thing with horror movie fan. I mean, run to the theaters, please. Get up, run. If you like movies in general, I mean, you're not a fan of Del Toro, you're not a fan of horror movies, but yeah, you like going to the theater, you will like it. You won't go nuts with it like I did, but yeah, we'll have a good time, I guess.